I want to make another behind the sound video to invite you a little bit more into my creative process. And so I thought it would be very interesting to go through one of the projects and just share with you like what lies behind it, and also so you can see like all the layers that are added to one project like this. So the project that I would love to share with you is the sound journey, Sound of Atlantis. And this one came to life like after connecting with the ocean, with the Atlantic Ocean. I have just had these very beautiful experiences like for the past few months, and it felt like it was just culminating right now. And one day I went there with my camera and I was just recording the waves and sitting meditating. And then when I came back, my camera had captured some of the sounds, the sounds of these waves just crashing onto the rocks and falling down and like that, and this whole symphony of waves, it just became the foundation for this sound journey. So I really felt like from there everything was just directed by Mama Ocean. So yeah, let's just dive into it, and I will show you how this project looks behind the sound. So let me just take you through the project, like maybe some of the decision makings that I can see here afterwards. I really enjoy creating completely intuitive. So what I mean by that is that when I create, I am not involved with the thinking mind. I am just listening completely to my intuition and moving wherever it wants to take me. So it is very, very freeing because it's not exhausting. It is just being and flowing wherever the process wants to flow. So that is how it feels for me when I create these sound journeys. And just a little practical thing, the software that I'm using is Ableton Live. It's a very intuitive software, so I enjoyed it a lot because it just fits very well with my process. And it's a program where you are working in layers and sort of building your project. And this is how Sound of Atlantis looks. So you can see the top layers here, the ones that are yellow. They are frequencies, and when I say frequencies, everything has a frequency. But when I say that I work with frequencies, I mean that I work intentionally with specific frequencies. Like there are so many ways of adding color or warmth or depth or dynamics and all of these things when we work with sound. And to me, working with specific frequencies as layers that is like behind in these ambient soundscapes, it really allows me to enter a different world. So it feels like I'm creating a space with these layers of specific frequencies. And also it allows me to set an intention. And if you feel like talking more about this, I would love to make a video about this as well, where we go more into depths about this, because it is huge. So after these frequency layers, then I have this layer that I named ocean. So this is where the sounds of the waves just came through. And then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 layers of voices. That is just me expressing through my voice. Yeah. So this sound journey, it is one of my favorite ways of working, really, because it has a lot of layers, but it only has 3 elements. So what I mean by that is that the 3 elements that I have been using here is recordings from the ocean, I have the frequency, and then I have the voice. So these are the 3 elements that is in this sound journey. So in this way, it is very simple, and it is like no nonsense. It is just pure tone and recordings from the ocean and human voice. That's it. Like these core layers, it is possible to create so much depth with so little, with so few elements. And that is just something that I really enjoy. There's something very pure about that, somehow. And let's see. Okay, so you can see this is how all of my soundscapes, like they always evolve through time. And then they peak at some point, and then I will lead you out again. So it's always like this, there's a peak and then you're let out. And if it's a longer sound journeys, then it will be like more peaks, and then we have a break, and then we have a break. So then it's not too intense. But when I create them like this, I create a peak and then a slope down, like gradually evolving and resolving, you can say. And you can see also here it becomes more and more complex as it evolves, and then it peaks around here and around here with the vocals as well. So this is a way that I also love to work. This is another way. You might not be able to hear it when you listen to sound journey. You might not notice how many layers are added at once, because I add them like very seamlessly, as if they are just melding together. So it is not like you can hear, now another layer came, now another layer came. It is just like when you're in meditation, and then these layers are just merging together, and it is just like growing, and like as if the sound naturally grows and then falls again. So to me it is very, very important that it feels natural, that this evolution of the sound journey, it feels natural. So you can hear here is the ocean sound, here's the vocal, and here's the frequency that you hear right now behind. Now another one, another vocal came. And so this vocal is just very gently arriving. And now a third vocal is introduced. And we still have the bass vocal. And now that becomes more like rhythmic almost. And so in this way they are just slowly evolving together, like these voices. The way I felt it was these different beings of the ocean just talking to each other, calling, maybe. So, yeah, it was such a beautiful experience creating this one, and especially I have a feeling that this will be more and more like this, this sound of the ocean. When you have that, like nothing else is needed. Like this was what I began with. So I will just solo this. Can I do that? So now you only hear the sound of the ocean. Of course with some different effects like reverb, delay, to give it space, to put it into space. And then there was just so much here, like so much already, that I was just literally lying down and recording the vocals, just being with the ocean. But the second thing I did after just sitting and listening to this, it was to choose the frequency, the specific frequency, and wait, it was. This is how it sounds if it's alone. But then, you know, together with the ocean and this, like there was something very pleasant about this. Very hypnotic. And I really got this feeling of the singing bowls. I always have this when I manipulate the sine waves, the sound waves of the frequency. Then I get this very strong feeling of the singing bowls that I play. Yeah, so this became like, it really became the foundation, and I was literally just lying down here with pillows everywhere around me, under me, and then with the microphone, and then this melody, this part. Just came through. And then I was just allowing this melody to come through me, and when it felt like, okay, now it had taken its last breath, then I was laying it out So it sort of repeated itself. And then these other voices came and joined. As the choir of the ocean. And you can easily hear if one voice disappears, like what happens, you know? And with each voice that I add, I just meditate with the previous ones, like the soundscape that is just layered upon layer upon layer, and then I meditate with that. So I was just like laying and just allowing the sounds to come out. And then I just have like the feeling of where it wants like support to grow, and then I just allow the voice to express intuitively, and it is a very beautiful experience. So now another layer is coming very gently. Another voice. So I hope this video gave you a little deeper insight into my creative process, the process of allowing these sound journeys to be born, and all the layers behind it. And I'm just it is such a deep process for me, and then I'm so grateful to be able to share these sound journeys with you. So thank you so much for receiving, and thank you for your presence. And yeah, let me know if you would love to see more of these behind the sound videos. I would love to answer some questions if you have any. And yeah, just see you soon. Sending so much love, and thank you. Ciao, ciao.